successful. Uniqueness of agents right arrow already enforced by address lookup by lineage right arrow, nobody calls it manifest CID anchor, promise from the docstring right arrow, never wired up 3 concrete options for the next redeploy. Drop lineage hash entirely from register agent, peer ID, cleanest. 1 argon, 1 storage slot per agent. Caller code in /onchain. Pi agent identity, pi agent registry, pi peer attribution, pi orchestrator /tools, pi simplifies. Replace with optional manifest SID, bytes 32. If you ever want agents to anchor a profile/charter/lineage document hash on chain, this slot is content addressable. It's pointing at something verifiable, not just a uniqueness key. 0 is allowed, no manifest. Non-zero is just a content pointer. Keep as is cosmetic debt, but nothing's broken. 1 is what the code actually wants. 2 is forward-looking if you want agents to publish identity attestations later. Which way? Good question. Let me think about what's worth putting on-chain vs leaving off-chain. What's on-chain now? Substrate. Sol agent struct. Lineage hash kept, content anchor registered at, active total training mint, training submission count peer ID, separate mapping, worth considering, but each carries a real cost, gas to write plus permanent state bloat. Different question. Firestore is cheap, no gas, no consensus, easy to add fields later. The bar is much lower. What the indexer can currently capture from the agent registered event. Address, lineage hash, peer ID, registered at, block number, transaction hash all stored, what it could also surface, cheap from on-chain reads at index time. Total training mint plus training submission count, read from agents, address, getter. Let's the public view show, this agent has earned X reputation, made Y submissions, without anyone running a daemon. Stale by definition, only updated when indexer next sees the agent, but acceptable for a weekly feeling product. Peer ID readable. Current peer ID is hex bytes. Base 58 decoded form 12D3QW is what humans recognize. Cheap conversion, store both. Is active read agent's address active? Reflects governance/slashing state. Registered at ISO, convert the Unix timestamp to ISO string at write time. Saves the front end from doing it. The first one, total training mint, implies the indexer needs to also listen for the mint events or periodically reread agent state to keep the number current. Two ways, listen to mint events, whatever event record training for epoch emits. Accurate, more complexity reread agent state on every poll, simpler, refreshes everyone's stats. Peer ID is the lib2p network identity for the agent's. No, peer ID doesn't encode the physical address. Want me to also add a note about Firestore rules/auth? Or is the project already set up for public reads? Let me look at the current
Reading
network
network
tab
page.
and how it consumes daemon agent data.
Searching for network agent card. Fetch network agents network. Reading network agent card. Searching for class network agent backslash network. Reading agent.
Now let me find where the network
Searching for
page calls the
network
daemon
agent is
and what
connected.
happens
Fetch
when the
network
daemon
me.
is not
Searching for
connected.
network agent card. Network agent card. Searching for network agent. Fetch agents. Load agents network.
This network page
Reading
is
agents
wallet-centric,
page.
registration
Reading agents
UI,
page.
not agent listing. Let me search for where the
Reading
actual
agents
roster of
page.
registered agents is shown.
Searching for fetch network
Now
agents.
let me find
Network
fetch network
agents
agents
network.
and network
Reading
agents.
agent provider.
The disconnected fallback already
Searching for
exists
get
via
registered
blockchain
agents
service.
class blockchain
Get registered
server.
agents.
Reading blockchain
The brief
service.
asks me to add Firestore as another fallback, since direct RPC may fail or be slow on web. Let me check what the disconnected experience looks like and whether blockchain service works on web. Okay, so the existing fallback
Searching
hits
for
the
has
chain via
registered
Web3
agent get is
RPC.
connected.
But on web, that means cores, rate limits, slow per agent calls. Write has registered
Finding
agent returns
files
false.
matching
No
lib/Firebase
Firebase steps installed
options.
yet.
Dart.
We need Firebase Core Cloud Firestore Firebase options. Dart, generated by Flutterfire Configure, or handwrite. Before I add deps and start writing code, let me Right, Firebase hosting alone doesn't pull in the SDK. You still need the web config object for client-side Firestore reads. Easiest sources: Firebase console. Project settings, right arrow your apps, right arrow web app, right arrow SDK setup and configuration, right arrow there's a Firebase config object. CLI, Firebase apps, SDK config WEB, run from the project root, lists web apps and dumps config. Either way, I need these fields. API key auth domain project ID storage bucket, messaging sender ID app ID, and optional, measurement ID. Paste them, and I'll wire it up end to end.
Editing index.
Got the config.
Reading
Let me
pubspec.
first remove that snippet from index. HTML, it's not valid. Now add
Editing
Firebase
pubspec.
steps. Now create Firebase
Writing
options.
Firebase options.
Dart, web only, daemon, initialize
Searching for
Firebase
void
in main.
main run app.
Dart,
Reading
let me find the
main.
existing main.
Editing main.
Now create the Firestore
Writing
agent
Firestore
service.
agent service.
The brief says the doc. Now wire the fallback
Searching
chain
for
into fetch
import.
network agents.
Asterisk blockchain
Let me check
service
what's already
blockchain
imported
C.
and add
Editing
Firestore.
agent provider. Editing agent provider.
Now update fetch
Editing
network
agent
agents
provider.
with the daemon
Reading
right arrow
agents page.
Firestore, right arrow RPC fallback chain. Both gates assume the
Editing
daemon is
agents
connected,
page.
has registered
Running
agent requires a local agent record, autonet state. Status is daemon reported. For users without a daemon, we should skip both gates and go straight to the Firestore backed listing. Deps installed cleanly. Summary of what's in place. Firestore wiring pub spec. YAML, added Firebase Core 3, 6, 0, Cloud Firestore 5, 4, 4, resolved to 3, 15, 2/5, 6, 12. lib/Firebase options. Dart, handwritten web config, API key, app ID, project ID, etc. lib/main, Dart, Firebase, initialize app, runs on web before run app, wrapped in try/catch so a Firebase failure doesn't crash the app. lib/services/Firestore agent service. Dart, get registered agents, reads collection agents ordered by registered at desk, maps each doc into the snakecase shape network agent. From JSON already consumes. Fallback chain in agent provider. Dart, fetch network agents, daemon WS if connected authoritative. Firestore if not connected. Direct RPC via blockchain service if Firestore is empty/throws. Network tab gating and agents page. Dart, daemon disconnected users now reach the listing path directly, no register agent prompt blocking them. Daemon connected users, without a registered agent, still see the prompt. Daemon connected users, with autonet, not yet running still see the status message. Hot restart won't pick up the new packages, you need a full stop and Flutter run again.
Reading agent provider.
Wait, the daemon path is being hit because is connected is true on your machine. The daemon returns 4 agents, it has the chain view. The Firestore-only path only runs when daemon is disconnected. Are you testing this with the daemon running? If yes, the fallback chain isn't even firing. Daemon returns whatever's on chain, including the 3 unmirrored ones. If you want to test the Firestore path while the daemon is running, easiest is to flip the priority temporarily or stop the daemon. What's your setup right now? Then we're hitting the
Editing
Firestore
agent
path, but it's
provider. Searching for
empty/throwing,
import
falling
package
through to the
Flutter.
RPC. Let me add some logging so we can see what's happening. Good, debug print is already imported via Foundation. Dart. Reload full restart, not hot reload. Firebase and it only runs once at startup. Open the app with daemon down, navigate to agent's right arrow network, then check the browser console, F12 right arrow console tab. Paste me the lines starting with fetch network agents. That'll tell us if Firestore returned 0 through an error or returned the 1 expected agent. Right, RPC
Editing
fallback
agent
shouldn't exist
provider.
at all on web. Let me remove it and make Firestore. Now blockchain
Searching
service
for
is no
blockchain
longer
service.
used here.
Blockchain service.
Let me check if it's used elsewhere. Still used for wallet ops, signing, balance, DAO info, token amount formatting. Keep the service, just drop the agent fetch path. That's the only change needed. Hot restart with daemon down right arrow network tab should now show only the 1 agent that's actually in Firestore.
Reading index.
Actually, wait,
Entering
Firebase Core
index.
Web 2. X and Cloudflare. Stop and rerun Flutter run, need a full restart, not hot reload index. HTML is loaded once. The pigeon error should go away, and Firestore should resolve.
autonet, autonet,
Let me trace how the app
Searching
determines
for registered
registration
on
status
chain
for
is
local
registered
agents.
register. Reading agent provider.
So registered on
Reading
chain is
agent
set in
provider.
3 places in
Reading
agent provider. Dart. The agent model is hydrated from JSON registered in chain, line 109, which means the daemon is the source of truth. Let me see line 1223. Okay, so all paths that
Searching
set
for
registered
class
on
autonet
chain come from the
contracts.
daemon.
RPB
The daemon
contract
is reading the
good. Reading
registration state,
blockchain
and
service.
either the daemon is reading from the old contract, cached contract address from before redeploy. The the front end's autonet contracts. RPB contract only matters for the fallback RPC path, which we just removed for agent listing, but kept for is agent registered. The actual answer for is this local agent registered comes from the daemon, check agent registration, right arrow WS. The chain of trust. App receives agent snapshot from daemon, right arrow daemon snapshot says register in chain. True for orchestrator and homebase ops. Or, app calls getAgent right arrow daemon returns a registered on chain. True value. Either way, the daemon is the one telling the app these agents are registered. And given that you redeployed the contract, the daemon is either A. Caching the registration status No, not currently. Substrate, Sol his agent's address. Single returns the struct but no batch version. Adding it is trivial, ~10 lines of solidity. But adding it requires another contract redeploy substrate. Sol isn't upgradable. That's a real cost. Every redeploy means updating registry. JSON, re-registering any real agents, and the indexer starting from 0 again. Three ways to handle this without
Reading
redeploying.
substrate.
Multi-call the existing agents. Getter most public Etherlink /
task
EVM
create.
nodes support ethcall batching at the RPC layer, or there's a deployed multi-call 3 contract
Editing
that
substrate.
aggregates calls. Same effect, no contract
Running
change.
CD.
The daemon makes one batch call, gets back end results. Just call agents,
Running
address,
CD.
n times in parallel. For n equals 550 agents, this is fine. RPC handles concurrent calls well. Simplest path. Add a registered and redeploy, clean
Editing
API,
registry.
but redeploy cost. For filter stale local agents on
Running
startup,
CD.
option 2 is what I do. If the daemon has
Running
10
CD.
local agents cached, it's 10 RPC calls in parallel, ~50 ms total. Doesn't justify a redeploy. Is the daemon agent count likely to be large enough
Running
that
CD.
batching matters? If it's typically 20, option 2 is fine. If you imagine 100s, batching matters, and we should think about it harder. I'll add the function
Running CD.
redeploy update registry. Is registered, address already exists. Updating
Running
registry,
CD.
clearing Firestore state, Now I'll re-register a test agent against the new contract and confirm, registered, the dead address checksum gripe is just Web3. Pi being strict, the on-chain call would accept it. Let me retry the registered portion with checksummed addresses. Wait, I
Reading
passed
on
start
chain.
block 4,291,964, but it resumed from 4,291,900. Adding are registered to the daemon's ABI right after is registered.
Editing shutdown deployment. Using task update.
Done. Summary, new substrate. Sol at 0 ZA 38,200, 1B 9,290. Write once per startup is the correct cadence.
Searching for load.
Re-registration
Asterisk
is rare.
agents.
Agents
Asterisk
either
load
persist
cache.
forever or
Asterisk
get
agent.
explicitly
Searching
slashed.
for def init,
Polling
def
on a
load,
timer
def
would
load,
burn
load fro.
RPC for
Reading
no value.
agent registry.
Let me find where the
Reading
daemon loads
agent
cached
registry.
agents at startup. Good, each agent has an identity.
Searching for load
JSON
identity
with
load.
registered chain,
Asterisk
bool flag.
identity.
I
Running
see
grep.
agent loading is
Using
per
task
agent,
create.
not a single startup bulk pass. The reconciliation should happen. Let me look at the
Reading
start
autonet service.
method to understand where to plug in.
Running grep.
This start is for autonet
Searching
training,
for load agents,
only
load the
fires when the
backslash.
user starts
Load.
training.
Reading
But the
cli.
agent registration check should run earlier when agents first load. Found
Running
it,
grep.
load agents runs at daemon boot. After it returns, all agents are. I now
Reading
have a
init.
clear picture.
Using
The reconciliation
task update.
belongs after load agents returns at boot line 449 in Runkly. Let me check what register agent already does on the runtime side that might collide. I'll add a method on
Reading
runtime
init.
or directly in CLI. Pi after load agent. Adding a
Reading
reconcile chain registrations method on runtime. Let me check what can. Now I have
Reading
enough
agent
context.
registry.
Adding reconcile chain registrations to agent registry. Pi, since it owns the identity persistence,
Editing
then
agent
exposing
registry.
via runtime and calling from CLI. Pi. Now expose it through
Editing init.
runtime and call it from CLI. Pi after load agents. Now
Reading
the call
CLI.
site in CLI. Pi. I'll wire it right after load agents in run CLI. Important.
Editing
Maybe
CLI.
tostar tautont for registered agents. Runs right. Now
Running
let me write a
LS.
focused unit test to confirm reconciliation logic works. I'll mock the chain client so we don't have to register / deregister real agents.
Writing test. Reconcile chain registrations. Running CD. Using task
All
update.
6 tests pass. Done. Reconciliation in place. Runtime. Reconcile chain registrations. Single batched or registered. Call, in-memory flip plus disk persist for stale entries wired in CLI. Pi after load agents, before maybe tostar tautont for registered agents, so auto start never fires for a phantom registration defensive. No ops when chain unset, leaves flags alone on RPC failure, survives persist failures partway through 6 unit tests covering happy path. Skip paths, offline path, RPC failure, empty case, and partial persist failure next daemon boot will catch any agent still cached as registered against the old contract and quietly fix it. That's the better design. The current approach pays an RPC cost on every boot, even when nothing changed. Vast majority of starts. A /reconcile /command runs only when needed. But it shouldn't replace boot time reconciliation entirely. Boot is when stale flags cause the worst damage. Auto start fires for an agent the chain doesn't know. Advertisement publishes a ghost agent. The reconciliation pass cost is one batched RPC call, ~50 ms, bounded by registered agent count. 3 options. Keep boot reconciliation plus add
Editing
/reconcile command, boot pass for safety, /command for explicit trigger after a known redeploy. Costs 1 RPC at boot,
Reading
but
CLI.
eliminates the footgun. /command only
Running
cheapest.
grep.
Requires the user to know to run it.
Reading CLI.
Footgun returns if they forget. Boot reconciliation
Editing CLI.
gated on a marker. Daemon writes the substrate address it last reconciled against, only runs the pass
Editing
if
CLI.
registry. JSON substrate address differs. 0 cost on boot when contract is
Running grep.
unchanged. Self-healing on redeploy.
Running grep.
3 is what I'd actually want, automatic,
Reading
but only
WS
when there's a
server.
reason. The marker is a single line in
Running
a state
grep.
file. Slash command stays as a manual
Reading
escape
WS
hatch.
server.
Want me to refactor to 3?
Reading WS server.
Agreed. Let me strip the now finding where adding the slash command and help entry. Now wiring it
Editing
through the
WS
WS
server.
bridge, so the front adding the RP reconciler
Running
registrations, WS handler, right after RP register at agents. All 6 tests still pass. Done. Removed boot time auto reconciliation in CLI. Pi added reconcile stdin command in CLI with status/error messaging matching the rest of the help surface. Added RP reconciler registrations WS handler. Frontend can trigger it from a UI button when needed helper function runtime. Reconcile chain registrations stays as the single source of truth. Called from both paths frontend brief addition. WS message type. RP reconciler registrations, right arrow response shape checked, int, flipped, agented, or error/skipped reason on the abnormal cases. The reconcile
Running
path checks
CD.
runtime, config, substrate address and runtime, config, RP curl. The chain not configured. Both are
Running
none on
CD.
the ATN config object, even though registry. JSON has them. So the
Running
fields live
CD.
under CFG, RPB not the top level config. Both correctly
Editing
populated
agent
from registry. Now I need to update
Editing
the test
test.
fixture to
Reconcile
mirror the
chain
real config
registration.
structure.
Running CD.
All 6 tests still pass with the corrected config path. Fixes in, root cause, I read self. Config, substrate address/RP curl at the top level but they live under self. Config, RPB, asterisk populated from registry. JSON by the config loader, both fields now read from the right place tests updated to mirror real config structure. Restart your daemon and try reconcile again. It should now hit the chain. The indexer reads registry. JSON at startup, same source of truth as the daemon. I already updated registry. JSON to the new address 0 ZA 38200, 1B 9290 EB, 5, FEF 989,000. Write the indexer's registry. JSON is the one from the autonet repo it's running against. On EC2, that'll be a clone of the repo, and anytime we redeploy the contract, we need to either pull the repo on EC. Good design. Single source of truth in Firestore for anything that's network-wide config. Current contract address, RPC URL, maybe chain ID. Proposed shape, 2 scripts then, script/indexer/publish network config. Pi one-shot reads registry. JSON locally writes to settings/network. Run manually after a redeploy.
Running CD.
Single source of human intent, right arrow Firestore. Indexer reads settings/network on startup, not registry. JSON. Pulls it on each tick to detect address change. If
Writing
changed,
publish network
resets
config.
last block processed and starts over from the new deploy block.
Using task create.
Or simpler, just reads at startup and you restart it after redeploy. Front-end reads
Editing
the same
agents
doc,
indexer.
useful for showing you're on network X and for verifying data freshness. Rules, settings is public
Editing
red,
agents
service
indexer.
account right same as agents. Want me to build this? I do it in 2 parts. Add settings/network to the rules plus write the publish script refactor indexer to read from Firestore instead of registry.
Editing agents indexer.
JSON. Tracking the work, starting with the publish script, refactoring the indexer to read from Firestore. Now update the main
Editing
to
agents
use the new
indexer.
flow. Init Firestore first, then read network config from. Heard
Running
the
CD.
indexer reads at startup only. Now seed settings/network for the first time and smoke test the indexer reading from it.
Running CD.
Seeded,
Using
smoke test the
task update.
indexer reading from Firestore. Indexer now reads from Firestore. Working script/indexer/publish network config. Pi reads registry. JSON writes Firestore. Settings/network with substrate address, RPC URL, chain ID, DAO address, etc. Indexer initializes Firestore first, then loads network config from settings/network. No more registry/jurisdiction flags. Reads at startup, restart after redeploy. Smoke tested end-to-end. Published config right arrow indexer picks up substrate equals 0 ZA 38200 1B9. From Firestore, right arrow resumes from last block cleanly. Updated front-end brief. There's now a settings/network dock the web app can also read to display you're on network X, contract 0x. Same rules, public read, service account write. Workflow after a contract redeploy, edit registry. JSON with the new address Python scripts /indexer/publish network config. Pi restart the indexer. Every 30 seconds by default, poll interval 30. 0. Configurable via the flag. Yes log, info, indexed agent %s, block %d, fires for each event ingested. And every poll cycle that finds something logs at the info level. Empty cycles are silent, only debug level get logs %d. %d is emitted, so the console stays quiet between events. If you'd want even quieter or more verbose, the verbose flag flips on debug output for everything.
Front end. Front end.
There it is, line
Editing
300.
agents page.
Hot restart. Network tab should now show the one Firestore agent regardless of daemon state.
Searching for wallet. Searching for Web3 wallet connected connect wallet discon.
Let me explore where the wallet button
Searching
currently
for
lives
Web3
and the app
wallet
bar
connected
structure.
connect wallet discon. Searching for wallet.
No
Searching
wallet
for
in
wallet.
orchestrator drawer.
Reading agent
The wallet
detail
button
screen.
is in agent detail screen and slash or
Reading
network page. Where do you see it in the agent window? Let me look. Okay, so the wallet connection is currently
Searching
part
for
of the
handle
Agent
connect
Details
wallet
Network
connect
tab
wallet
as a
backslash
Connect Wallet and
backslash
Register
W.
combined
Searching for
button
handle connect
used to
wallet
register an
connect
agent
wallet
on
bill.
chain.
Reading network page.
So there are two wallet buttons
Searching for
defined,
wallet button
button
backslash
and compact wallet button. The compact one
Reading
is the
network
avatar
page.
slash pop-up that fits in narrow spaces. Both wallet
Searching
buttons
for app
live
bar
inside the
backslash
network
app
page's
bar.
tab
Reading
header,
main.
which is what shows when an agent window is open to its network tab, the agent window. Now to move it to the main app bar. Let me look at the main app bar. Noted on the orchestrator
Searching
drawer
for
rename,
avatar
I'll
service
address
short
that
and
after
address.
this.
Searching for
Plan
import.
for the wallet. Good,
Asterisk
create a
avatar
shared
service
widget.
import. Asterisk short and A. Writing wallet button.
Now wire it
Editing
into the
main.
app bar. Add the wallet button alongside voice button slash autonet info button and also for the disconnected state.
Editing main.
Now remove the
Editing
wallet
network
button
page.
from the network page tab headers.
Reading network page.
Now delete the
Editing
orphan wallet
network
button
page.
and compact wallet button classes and unused imports, if any, from network. Now check if UN8
Searching
list
for
slash
UN8
avatar
list
service
avatar service
imports are
short
now
and
orphan.
address.
Let me
Searching for
find and
import.
clean them.
Asterisk type data import. Asterisk avatar serve. Reading network page. Editing network page. Searching for orchestrator drawer. Orchestrator drawer.
Now address
Running
the
grep.
second item.
Reading orchestrator
Rename
drawer.
orchestrator drawer since the orchestrator slash root agent doesn't get a special window anymore.
Running
Let me
grep.
see what it actually is. So orchestrator
Reading
drawer is
window stack.
actually the orchestrator's chat window widget used inside the floating agent window. Since the orchestrator is just one agent among many now, this should be renamed, and the orchestrator
Running
so the
WC.
orchestrator currently gets a different. Both are big. Let me take stock before answering. Done in this turn. created lib/widgets/wallet button. Dart wallet button uses provider to read agent provider state, no constructor params. Wired it into the app bar in lib/main. Dart for all three layouts, connected/compact disconnected/desktop disconnected. Removed wallet button from network page wide header and compact wallet button from narrow header. Both headers are now just the tab bar. Deleted both classes from network page. Dart and removed orphan imports Dart, type data, avatar service. Orchestrator drawer rename, it's not just a name issue. There are two questions. Is the orchestrator's chat widget functionally different from agent chat widget, e.g.? Supports the activity feed, delegate panel, full body expanded mode, or is it now redundant code that should be merged? If it's still functionally distinct, what would be a better name? Agent orchestrator chat, root agent chat, expandable agent chat, etc. Given orchestrator drawer is 2,153 lines with delegates plus activity plus chat mode aware rendering, and agent chat widget is 1,385 lines without those, I'd guess they're still meaningfully different. Two paths, quick rename, orchestrator drawer right arrow root agent chat or orchestrator chat, rename the file too. Just renames, no behavior change. Real cleanup, figure out what's actually unique.
autonet,
Reading network page.
Found at line
Searching for agent
376-378.
record
When
backslash
agent
S
record agent
asterisk
address is
equals widget
empty, it
backslash.
falls back to app.
Agent ID get
Web3
agent.
wallet
Searching
short,
for
the
agent
wallet,
address.
agent summary.
Address.
Hot
Editing
restart.
network page.
Stats tab now shows the agent's own 0x address from its summary, or the chain record once it loads, never the user's wallet address. Let me find the agent card icon
Searching for
source.
class agent card provider icon backslash. Reading agent card. Reading agent card. Running LS.
Let me find the
Searching
autonet
for app
monogram
icon.
asset. Confirmed.
Editing
Assets.
agent card.
Hot reload. Registered agents in the local tab now wear the autonet monogram. Unregistered ones keep their provider icon.
Searching for AI input core prompt co. Searching for AI input core prompt
AI
page.
input is the page navigation
main.
label that goes to Quora prompt page. Dart, let me check.
Reading config page.
Currently a single
Editing
column list
config
view capped
page.
at 680 px wide. 1 residual. Each provider card and add provider card has margin, edge insets. Only bottom, 12 to space them in the old list. With wraps run spacing providing gaps, that's now redundant, but leaving it adds 12 px extra at the bottom of each card, which is visually okay. I'll leave it. Hot reload. The AI input page now flows into 1-3 columns, depending on width.
Searching for physics card layout.
The other 2 tabs
Reading
use
agents
physics card
page.
layout. Let
Reading
me look at
physics
how they
card
wire it
layout.
up.
Reading card item. Reading provider config.
Okay, physics card layout requires items to implement card. Easy,
Editing
provider
provider
detail
config.
already has
Reading
ID,
provider
name,
config.
description as fields. Make it implement card item.
Editing provider config. Reading network agent card. Reading config page.
Now I need a height
Editing
estimator
config page.
now wire it into config page. Now I need to render the
Editing
add
config
custom provider
page.
tile. Wait, Dart
Editing
math
config
already
page.
exports max. Don't redefine it. Also the
Editing
dead
config
comparison
page.
p. ID equals config page state. Add provider sentinel, replace with the real. Also the provider card body
Searching
itself
for
has margin,
const
edge
insets.
insets.
Only
Only
/
bottom,
1.
12,
Reading
and add
config
provider
page.
card 2,
Editing
those are
config
no
page.
longer needed.
Reading
Physics
config
card
page.
layout positions cards, and the extra
Editing
bottom
config
margin will
page.
add a 12 px gap at the bottom of each card. Hot reload. The AI input page now uses the same physics-driven card layout as agents and tools. Cards size themselves and reflow into multiple columns when there's room.
Editing config page.
Height estimator is hot reload. If anything still overflows, tell me which provider and roughly how much. I can dial individual sections up.
autonet,
Bottom padding under
Editing
allocation
config
across the
page.
board. Also add a
Editing
small
config
hot
page.
reload. If anything still overflows, tell me which one and by how much.
autonet,
Ten px overflow
config
remaining
page.
hot reload.
Searching for world, asterisk substrate substrate, asterisk world.
Those are
Editing
unrelated.
config
Hot
page.
reload. If anything still clips, paste me a screenshot or the description text of that card, and I'll retune.
Maybe you know. Oh yeah, listen. Body move like water, no stress, oh. Get a low, make me go. No that dress, oh. I just want to ginger more blessing. All my life is once, no go messed up. I don't get time for the long talk. Money enter, now we do the moonwalk. But I'm the new, but we still they move up. Fine girls, yeah, they want to hook up. Sorry, you say life no be competition. I'm just on a steady mission. Pass me the juice, make I feel the rhythm. Everything so now my body move like water, no stress, oh. Take a low, make we go. No dress, oh. I just want to ginger more blessing. All my life is once, no go mess up. Joko, dance, ready, move it, no go dirty vibe, oh. I'ma stay steady. Everything everything is beautiful. Everything dance, ready, move it, no go dirty vibe, oh. I'ma stay steady. Everything everything is beautiful. Body move like water, no stress, oh. Take a low, make we go, no digression. I just want to ginger more blessing. All my life is once, no go mess up. Universal. Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel like live it. Leave it.
Touch on my waist, slow pace, I race when the like waves on the bass embrace. No stress, no chase, I'm the one they can't replace. Baby, feel that fire, burning low but taking higher. Every move a prayer, body talk, no liar. Sweet motion under my skin, when I want you feel it within. Sweet motion, honey and sensation, you can't deny I'm the rhythm you're in. Sweet motion under my skin, when I want you feel it within. Sweet motion, honey and sensation, you can't deny I'm the rhythm you're in. La 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 lights low, skin glow, energy flow. Soft voice, big dreams, that's how I roll. No fear, no control, just the sound in my soul. I don't chase, I attract. Good love, good vibes, that's fact. On the beat I react. Afro queen, never looking back. Sweet motion, pull me close, we move slow, nobody knows. Sweet motion, through the doors, girl on fire, that's how it goes. La 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 shit on me low. Oh my lord, oh my god, make this blessing never miss smiling. JV view my best foreground. From Lagos Island, Richie Code, do now. Homo, them feed they hate my sound, but them still they use them shut party down. Baba, what if you go via foreground? One Won't let stop my wave, won't let up my crown, I'm from Monday reach Sunday now. Now the same boys way and still they run my sound. Them talk say I too they loud, but now them first shout when the money land, baba. Mokari mon pray for grace, make blessings full my place, make enemies come out for face. Oh my Lord, oh my God, oh Lord, share on me low. Oh my Lord, oh my God, make this blessing never miss my lane. Come my way, come my way, my way, my way. Baby, why Lord on me? Come my way, come my way.